Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon, I mean. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is your guy, DeMarcus. I'm here for your motivational video today from the Beta Project. And here you can actually watch us on YouTube. Feel free to find us and subscribe and follow us here at Humble and Focused, all one word on YouTube. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be this little light of mine. And today's video's quote is going to be, "Don't be afraid to shine. The world needs your light," by Gabby Bernstein. So here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So some of you guys, if you've ever been to church, you've heard that song before. It's a song very often sung in church, and I've always sung it, you know. I always played with it, you know, kind of got to get the jazz hands, let it shine. And, you know, you sing things and you say things, but sometimes you don't necessarily know what you're singing and what you're saying until much later. And it kind of came to me today. I kind of got a little feel for it today. A teammate of mine gave me a call today out of nowhere. I love when he calls me. I love the conversations that we have. And he calls me, he's talking about our team and all the great things that he feels in our team and how I inspire him. Now, when I first met this guy, he was kind of a cocky mofo, so to speak. He was a very good athlete, but he was cocky and he was confident and he didn't want to listen to anybody. Ego. We had battles at first, and I didn't think he was going to be able to stay on my team. But you know, he finally decided to calm down and relax, and then all of a sudden we started to gel, and he's now starting to become one of the leaders of the team. Now, the reason I say that to you is because he's told me out of nowhere, he's like, "Man, without you, you're leading us right. You're giving us this, you're giving us that. We're following you. You're doing all this," and he's just talking all like me up. And I'm like, to me, I'm just like, I'm on a sports team. I'm leading a sports team. I need to lead them as best as possible so they can become champions in their mindsets. So they bring it on the field, right? And so he's telling me all these things about me, and I'm like, wow. And he's like, "Yeah, you don't know who you're affecting," and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it clicks. I'm like, wait a second. I talk all the time about all the great things that the world needs from us, but in all reality, we forget our light. When I first started this out, when I first started giving videos and doing messages and talking to people, my light was dim. And I don't even know if I believed that people would listen to a word I had to say. Back in the day when I was younger, I used to have advice like this, and I forgot that I did, but friends of mine from old school say, "Yeah, you used to do this all the time." I'm like, "Oh, okay, didn't know." But I remembered, based on them telling me, like, wait a second, I did give a lot of advice and help people through some certain things. And I've always had a gift to talk to people and get their mindset right. But now I'm backed by information I didn't have when I was a kid, these different books, these different thoughts, these different ideas and places, putting it into my mind. Now I'm more powerful in my mind than I ever have been, and all I want to do is just give it. So my light was dim when I first started this, but as I grow, my light gets brighter. Now, why is that important, right? Because when your light gets bright, what is light used for? Light is used for guiding through darkness. Guidance through darkness. When somebody doesn't understand who they are or what they want to be, guiding themselves through darkness, they will rely on the light of a cell phone, maybe. You know, maybe they turn their cell phone on like here, and they'll be like, "Okay, hold on, I can't see in the dark. Let me get my flashlight on," and they'll guide themselves. But this is a light. And it's not the brightest light, but this is a light that will shine and guide somebody. So in life, when we're giving of ourselves and pieces of ourselves, we get light to give to other people. And light depends on how bright you want. There's my camera light. See how bright that is? So it's brighter than the camera phone, right? Now, the reason that that's important also is because as you grow, you're going to need a brighter light. Because if it's a little darker, you may need to see further ahead, but you can't see further until that light hits. So this little light of mine is not about me, it's about us. And the things that we put out into this universe. They got enough people up here, you know, acting crazy. They got enough people up here drunk as a skunk. They got enough people up here, you know, with immorally, irreprehensibly. You get what I'm saying. They got enough of that out there. But what about people with that light inside of them? That light that can be followed and be shared and given. There's a quote that has that you can give, like if you're a candle, the flame of a candle can give to 1,000,000 people without extinguishing its flame. And that's who we need to be. We need to be the light of a candle, the candle that can serve the purpose of the people and give somebody the light that they need inside of them. He told me, he's like, man, I use everything that we talk about in kickball, mind you, everything we talk about in kickball in our groups, in our group chats, when we're about to talk to people after a game, before the game. He goes, I use that in my real life. I use that. And to me, what that says is that what I'm doing is not being wasted. That, yeah, sometimes I feel like nobody's watching. I've said this before, but you know, when somebody, and I get this more often than I realize, I need to stop doubting myself, because people always like, man, I loved your videos, man, I appreciate you, man, I do. And in me, I'm like, oh, thank you, because I wouldn't have known. I didn't think about it. But we put light out into the universe. We're always putting out something. And like I said, there's enough darkness out there that it can hide a whole lot of light for a whole lot of people. Maybe that's why I started this. Maybe it's because I needed light at the time, so I lit myself. I put light in the mirror, and if you put light in the mirror, it shines. But as I go and I become stronger, I realize that as I give to one person, I can give to so many people through a platform so simple. And you know what? Stop doubting yourself on whether or not you have enough value to give to life, because somebody needs exactly what you have. The experience, the words, the thoughts, the stuff you've been through. Only you can, you know, explain that to somebody who needs exactly what you have. So stop diminishing your value, which is sometimes I do that. Stop diminishing your value and believing that you don't have anything to give, when in all reality, only you can give it. And it's been sitting in here this whole time. In your heart, this whole time. It's been in here, in your chest. So, quote number 2. You may think your light is small, but it can make a big difference in other people's lives. Let your light shine. Even the smallest light can light a path of darkness. Even the smallest light can lead someone somewhere they need to be. So you cannot decide whether or not you're valuable or not valuable because someone needs what you have, right? So you gotta believe that your light, no matter how small it is, can make a difference in other people's lives. I'm trying to grow my light because I want to change the dadgum world. So if I'm gonna change the world, I've got to continuously grow my light. And I got to grow my light in the right way. I don't want to grow my light with darkness. I want to be a positive hope and a beacon for everybody. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. It literally says, I have something. It's mine, and I'm going to give of it to everybody else so they can have guidance. Everybody has light. Some people choose to diminish their light by putting a cover over it. Some people choose to diminish their light by covering it up because they don't want anybody to see it. That's what I did for the first half of my life. I swear to you, I covered it up so nobody could see my light. Hold on, let me cover up my other light. Here we go. I covered up all my light, ladies and gentlemen. I said, you know what? I don't want people to know who I am. I don't want people to look at me and judge me. So I'm gonna hide my light. But when I had a friend of me that said, hey, you can do this, DeMarcus, why are you hiding your light? You don't have to hide that anymore. And I was like, wait, you mean I don't have to hide behind the fact that, I'm smart and I want to tell people? You mean I don't have to hide behind the fact that, I want to share and that I have a kind heart? Yeah, the world does not necessarily take great to kind-hearted people and it diminishes them. But if you attract the right people, my heart was being destroyed because I was attracting the wrong type of people and they were attacking my character. But as I began to open up my light to show other people, what happened is I started attracting people to it. So at first, I attracted moths to the flames, but then I started attracting other light, because light begets light, right? So that's what I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe that your light is small, because you're magnificent. You're 100% the greatest thing that you could possibly be at this moment. If you believe you can be better, then do it. Read a book about it. You don't know a book to read? I can give you books. You don't believe me? I've got mentors. You cannot do it alone. Find a team and a group. You are like the 5 people you spend the most time around. So what did I do? I changed my circle. I didn't like how my light was looking, so I changed my circle. I put it in a place where I could absorb light from others, so when the light hit me, I can reflect it out to other people too. If you don't like who you're around, change it. If you don't like how your life is going, change it. The funny thing is that the only thing that can change in your life is what you choose to change in it. I can't change your life for you. I can speak these truth words to you, but I can't make you accept it as a man or as a woman. I can't make you accept it as a father or as a mother. I can't make you take in anything. I would have loved to have helped my ex out And if she would have listened to my words, but she wanted nothing to do with the words that were coming out of my mouth. Instead, she blocked it. And it's fine. I can't help you if you don't want to hear it. But what I can do is continue to speak the positivity that comes from my soul and my heart and let my light shine. Let my life shine for the world. And so here's the last thing I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and go to this last one. It says, let your light shine, ladies and gentlemen. Be a source of strength and courage. Share your wisdom and radiate love. Wilfred Peterson. Ladies and gentlemen, the cool thing about it is that love comes from a place. Light comes from a place. The courage to stand up for somebody or for yourself comes from a place. So if it all comes from a place, it means that there has to be an origin. Every plant has an origin story. Every person has an origin story. And the only difference between a person and a plant is that you get the ability to change where your story is. Now, you might not be able to change your origin story, but you can change how you're like, you know how many plants would love to just get up and move and go change the light and go reach towards the sun? But you see it all the time, right? You see a plant that's growing and all of a sudden, like they build a building around it, and all of a sudden the plant decides, I'm gonna go ahead and go over here. I'm gonna lean over here because that's where the light is. It was growing up here, but then it got blocked. It's like, wait a second, where am I gonna go? You know, I'm gonna go over here. So you can change because you should be attracted to light. You should want light in your heart because the sunlight, sun rays, that helps. That helps the plants to grow. So your sunlight is reading the right books, being around the right people, listening to the right videos, getting all that trash out of your mind, absorbing in the goodness of the world and of yourself, and allowing that light to shine. This little light of mine, no, this little light of yours, you're gonna let it shine. Hey, this little light of yours, you're gonna let it shine. Hey, you get what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, we have the ability to affect a lot of people. We have the ability to light a lot of candles, so to speak. We have the ability to be the best version of us we could be and be an example for somebody who needs one. And if you're not doing that, ladies and gentlemen, you're honestly wasting your time. Because somebody needs exactly what you have, as I said before, but only you can give it to them. So that's all I want, ladies and gentlemen. It's your light. I need you to let it shine. And I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. And I thank you for being here today. And just remember to let that light shine, ladies and gentlemen. Be an example to give somebody hope when they don't have any hope. To give somebody strength when they don't have any strength. To be somebody's rock when they feel like they can't go any further. To be somebody's saving grace, somebody's boat when they can't swim any longer, when their legs are tired, when their arms are tired, when they're going through so much stuff, where they can't understand how they're gonna make it. You could be the peace that allows them to survive. And if they survive, and all of a sudden they show their light, now the room's lit. That's all I have for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I will see you later. Stay warm. It's freezing outside, and I will talk to you soon.